insights in terms of what this statement by Nawaz Sharif actually means. We're being joined by Amir Shaheen, who is a senior journalist, and he's joining us on this broadcast at this moment. Now, Amir, this is an interesting statement that's been made by Nawaz Sharif. What do you think has actually made him say something like this? Is this a moment of a rare reflection on his part, or is he trying to mend fences with the United States?
This is a rare moment of reflection. These well-timed moments of reflection come to Nawaz Sharif's aid and when he needs them. And Nawaz Sharif, when he was ousted, he met with us journalists and he wanted us to become revolutionaries. He wanted to become revolutionary. He said, I've become a revolutionary now, they've ousted me. So Nawaz Sharif knows, he's a very experienced politician. He knows when what has to be said, but if it becomes too formal, it's based on a formula. For example, right now, Pakistan Muslim League and Nawaz Sharif's political party has been able to get him back to Pakistan, and they were thinking, you know, the hustle and bustle of elections will start as soon as Nawaz Sharif comes, but there is something that still lacks. That lackluster performance of PML-N is because PML-N always had to decide between the two strategies. Is it vote ko izzat do, which means respect my vote, which goes directly against the military, or the other aspect that we've built bridges and roads? Right. Now, Nawaz Sharif's strategy was that we're going to confront the military and say, you cannot come back. And the former Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's policy was, we're going to talk about all the good things we do. Shehbaz Sharif got rewarded by the military by becoming the Prime Minister. But Nawaz Sharif knows that just that alone will not win them the elections. So mark my words, starting now onwards, Nawaz Sharif is going to start, using the same rhetoric against they and them. He doesn't say military. He stopped saying some generals' names. He's now limited himself to General Faiz Hamid now. So as soon as
that actually brings me to my next question, because knowing the politics of Pakistan and how things work there, where the real power does not lie in Islamabad, but actually in Rawalpindi. And the fact that Nawaz Sharif has been talking about the army, and you said that he's toned down some of his rhetoric against the army, but he has blamed the army establishment for the poor economic plight of Pakistan. It may resonate a bit with the Pakistani people, but how does it sit with the Pakistani army?
He's resonated 3 times before and he became the Prime Minister. What he doesn't say is he says they and them. He doesn't say the military establishment. He doesn't say the names in a way that we will go after these people. We'll go to the judiciary and we'll file cases against people who have openly, what about General Bajwa? Where did he go? Who have openly admitted that they helped Imran Khan. Before that, they helped Nawaz Sharif. Before that, they helped Zardari continue his government. So the real hope that a pro-democracy voter of Nawaz Sharif, because there are many now, because he's been fighting against the military when he is not the Prime Minister, the declaration that they would go after those who usurped the democracy would be the first step for anybody to believe. You talk to people who support PML-N, you talk to people who support People's Party, PTI, you ask them for their honest opinion. They know Nawaz Sharif is playing a bluff game where he is trying to stoke up the sentiments, because this is a very unique opportunity in Pakistan where the struggle for democracy can actually happen, because all 3 major political parties are not in a position in terms of their vote bank to be an establishment's party. PMLQ and MQM are not going to be able to form government unless the once-in-a-lifetime kind of rigging happens. So right now is the time when the political parties could have stopped oppressing media like Imran Khan was, and go for the democratic norms and send the military back to the barracks. But unfortunately, in this musical chairs of opportunism, Nawaz Sharif is going to totally sell that narrative that, oh, the generals are bad, democracy is good. But he's also going to sell the fact that we're going to do it the way Shehbaz Sharif does. Build the bridges, give you the contracts, and try to make it work with you. It never works with the military, because military would never let you work. Because, I mean, what is the Chief of Army Staff doing right now? He's doing diplomatic meetings and business meetings in the US. Like, how is he going to let you run the country? You need to decide before you get elected how you're going to get elected. Otherwise, you'll keep becoming Imran Khan and you'll keep becoming Nawaz Sharif. These are what we call Gidar Bhabkiya. There's just like shouts He's just shouting out these slogans. They don't mean anything. If you give Imran Khan the government today, if you give Nawaz Sharif the government today, they will become the same thing, a puppet for the military.
All right, now let me ask you this question, because this is something I'm sure a lot of political strategists within Pakistan would also be thinking about. Now, Nawaz Sharif says that it is not the United States and not India that is to be blamed for the poor plight of the Pakistanis. Does it mean that Pakistan's, at least Nawaz Sharif, if he becomes the next prime minister again, that he would now want to change the way Pakistani politics would be run? Historically, in the past, over the decades, Pakistan, by its generals, has been allowed to be used by the Americans, in the fight against the Soviets in Afghanistan. And there's also this strange policy that Pakistan seems to have vis-a-vis India. So are we now going to see some kind of a concrete change in terms of how Pakistan deals with India and also with the United States?
Of course not. You remember when the Mumbai attacks happened, and we were the only and the first people who actually went down and exposed the fact that Ajmal Kasab was a Pakistani. And at that time, it was all the same politicians, including Nawaz Sharif, who said, in private meetings, he said, "Oh, what you're saying is the truth, but this is against the country." In 2008, he was saying that. In 2018, Nawaz Sharif comes out. And, I find myself speaking about the fact that he said a remarkable thing. He said Ajmal Kasab was a Pakistani. He said that he shouldn't have done Kargil. Just the same way Imran Khan says, oh, it wasn't even my government that was oppressing the journalists. It was, the military. So at the end of the day, Nawaz Sharif cannot come to power. He has two ways to come to power, either by being complicit with the military establishment or going all out to fight against them. And the problem with going all out to fight against them is that everybody else is an opportunist as well. So they will come closer to the military and form the government. So the elephant in the room, Nawaz Sharif is never going to practically deal with the elephant. Nawaz Sharif is playing to the choir. Nawaz Sharif knows it will be very unpopular to become the military's puppet right before the elections. And the Pakistan People's Party's leadership, it was an ally just before the elections were announced. Pakistan People's Party is criticizing Nawaz Sharif and saying now he's temporarily trying to become a Bhutto till he wins and comes back. And then he's going to be Zia's son again, Zia being General Zia, who had a liking for Nawaz Sharif.
I think you've summed it up really well there. Thank you very much indeed, Ahmad Shaheen, for joining us and getting us that perspective there.
Thank you for having me.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.